What up, spiritual family, and welcome to Mount Fitness MBS Ministry. Pardon me. Yes, guys, welcome. I'm your host, Brother Mongoose, and this Ministry Institute is all about helping you realize your power and to discover your purpose. That's right, you have been given both for a specific reason. You're not just powerful just for the sake of being powerful, and you don't just have a purpose that's kind of, willy-nilly style. No, it's important. It's given to you, divinely given to you by the universe. Now the seeds, and I'll talk about later in this video, the seeds or the ingredients that are necessary for you to nourish yourself, the universe, this thing that we call his kingdom, in order for you to lead, in order for you to grow and actually realize your power and discover your purpose. These seeds consist of real, not superficial, real love. Starting with self-love, of course. You can't squeeze grapefruit or banana juice or lemon juice from an orange. An orange can only put out what's inside of it. So if you're not really committed to really genuinely loving yourself, the way you look, your education level, your attitude, your quirks, your uniqueness, everything about you. If you're not committed to loving you first, then again, how can you genuinely love someone else? You can do all the superficial stuff, all the stuff that, a person that does love someone would do, but you would be doing it from an empty heart or just, again, for the superficial value of it all. So, other ingredients that are needed in order for you to grow into really, really realizing your power and to really, really, truly discovering your God-given purpose, some other ingredients consist of good old-fashioned authenticity, compassion, mercy, faith, kindness, peace, transformation, clarity, and all the other things that we know are divine attributes. These are the very seeds that you need to water each and every day if it is your goal to realize your ultimate power and your specific purpose, the very reason for why you were born into this 3D existence. This ministry is going to talk towards the end of the video about some services that are provided to help you nourish and to bring forth those ingredients in order to achieve the goal at hand. But for now, let me encourage you guys to know that if no one's told you thus far today, or if there's a gazillion people that's told you thus far today, add this one to the list. Whether it's the first or the gazillion and first, I love you. Not in a superficial way, in a very true, organic, and authentic way. I love you. I may never meet you. I may never see you, may never hear from you. But if your heart is in the right place, I love you. So receive that, guys, and let that have its place in your heart to help nourish all of the ingredients that I just mentioned and the ones that I didn't mention as well. You are loved. So, having said that for an opening, guys, now let's get off into the meat and potatoes of today's message, where, I mentioned love. You having self-love and knowing that when you love yourself, this is what commands love for others. If you truly love yourself, then it is impossible for you to go out there and hate anyone else. Remember, orange juice can only produce orange juice. Doesn't mean you like everybody else. Doesn't mean you get along well with everybody else. Doesn't mean you let everybody else into your personal circle. You resonate with everybody else. You're friends with everybody else. No, it doesn't mean that. It just means you don't hate them. There's no jealousy there. There's no envy there. There's no desire to take somebody down or tear somebody down. Because you don't hate them. A orange can only bring forth orange juice. And a grapefruit, a lemon, something that's bitter, can only bring forth bitterness. So when we're talking about this holistic approach, this holistic mind, body, and spirit approach, Mount Fitness MBS Ministry Institute. When we're talking about this holistic approach, it's important that we realize that there are some people out there that are just haters. They're just lemons and grapefruits. And there's nothing you can do about it. Doesn't matter who they are. Friends, family, loved ones, strangers. Doesn't matter how hard you try. It doesn't even matter how much you love them. Some people are just lemons and grapefruits. The good book words it like, the good book states it like, you can't make a crooked branch straight. So what I'm encouraging you guys to do is to embrace the hate. Embrace it. When you begin to embrace the hatred starts to work for you. When you start to embrace the hate starts to reveal things to you. Who you are, what you're capable of, the reason behind it all. It starts to teach you things. It starts to nourish that self-love within you. It starts to teach you self-discipline, emotional control. It sharpens your focus and crystallizes your purpose. This is some of the things that the hate do when you learn to embrace it. The hatred begins to work for you. We're living in a day and we're living in a time, and you know just as well as I do, that most people are grapefruits. If I can borrow that analogy yet again. Most people are grapefruits. And you've seen them, you've come across them. Unfortunately, you may have some in your household, your inner circle, people we have to work with each and every day on the job, whatever the case may be. And you've tried. You've offered olive branch after olive branch after olive branch, only to feel in your heart that it was not valued. It may have been received, your love, your kindness, your compassion, mercy, advice, whatever it was. It may have been received by the grapefruits, but it wasn't valued. In fact, some of you guys realize that the more you pour into the grapefruits, the disciples of darkness, the narcissists, the disingenuous people, the fakers, you've realized that the more you pour into them, the worse you feel. The more you pour into them, the more you have to change and adjust in order to keep them comfortable, and in order for them to kind of leave you alone, if you will. what you have is addictive. That love that you carry, it's addictive. People get a taste of it. People get an experience of it, being around you, engaging with you. They don't get that. And some of the people that smile the most with them, that maybe even laugh the most with them, the people that help them the most, whatever the case may be, they don't get that. They get all the superficial benefits, but they don't get what you carry, because what you carry is rare, very rare. And so you've had to let some people go. You've had to let some things go. Good for you. You've had to focus on you more than others. And you've had to get yourself, by the grace of this thing we would refer to as God, you had to get yourself to the point to where their hatred doesn't affect you anymore. It doesn't negatively impact you anymore. It doesn't disturb your vibe, your mood. It doesn't interfere with your goals, with your intentions. It doesn't distract you from who you are and what you're all about. Now, some of you guys may not be there yet, but the ultimate goal is to get there and to realize that along the way, there's definitely going to be bumps and bruises. There's going to be peaks and valleys. But ultimately, it's all worth it. And ultimately, you do, so long as you don't quit on yourself, you do get to the point to where you're able to embrace the hate. You're able to accept the fact that most people are just bitter. And no matter how kind or what you do to try to fit in or what you do to try to make them feel at ease, it's you begin to you realize ultimately that you're pouring water into a bucket without a bottom. And so you let it all go and you just say, hey, I don't need to run from the hatred. I don't need to rise above the hatred. I don't need to ignore the hatred. I don't need to resist the hatred. I need to be able to look the hatred right square in the eyes, whether that's literally when you have to confront somebody or just have an engagement, work-related or otherwise, with someone, and it requires, standing right there in the fire and letting this person know, hey, ain't no chumps over here. Ain't no arrogance over here, and ain't no chumps over here. You begin to learn that you don't have to run or reject or ignore or deny the hate. You can stand right in the fire. Again, whether that's looking somebody in the eye or just walking through that workplace or wherever you may be, and sensing and feeling and discerning the hatred and the disingenuousness and the fiery darts and all the contempt that's being levied your way. You walk through it like you're walking through smoke. Maybe to take that one step further, it's like you walk through it while you're walking through fog, because smoke you might choke on. So if you want to use the analogy that you're walking through it like smoke, well, it's smoke, but you have the oxygen mask on, or it's fog. You're just walking through it. It doesn't affect you whatsoever. You get there ultimately by embracing the hate for whatever level it is that you're on now. No longer trying to fit in, no longer trying to be in denial, no longer trying to prove yourself, no longer trying to explain yourself, no longer seeking validation, no longer, doing any of the things other than accepting the truth for what it is. Most people are haters. Most people don't like you. Most people don't like me. Most people don't like those of us who carry this light. Well, so be it. When you embrace the hate and the truth of it all, ultimately you get to the point to where it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even cross the radar in terms of it affecting you. You're just simply walking in truth. But it all starts with you being able to embrace the hate. Seeing the truth. The good book says that the world loves its own. And if you were, or myself, if we were of the world, then the world would love us. We're not of this world. We're in this world, but we're not of this world. Our spirit, the residency of who we truly are, it doesn't preside here. We have something that transcends this world, even though we're here physically, mentally, psychologically, socially, emotionally, and all that good stuff. Ultimately, what's at the very fabric of who we are, our eternal selves, doesn't exist here. We're not of this world. So let me encourage you, wherever it's taking place, that fakery, that disingenuousness, the cold stares, the rude comments, the underhanded compliments, and all the little forms of, the things that, the enemy would put out there as overt or covert hatred, whatever it consists of. Let me encourage you to embrace it. Don't run from it. You running from it amounts to a person that says they want to be a triathlon, but they run from the running, the swimming, and the things that go along with it. No, you have to go through this process. You have to understand and accept the fact that this is what you have to go through if you want to go to what it is that God has meant for you to go to. That hatred is trying to teach you something. It's there to teach you, just like becoming a triathlete. That pain in your ankles or pain in lower back, that fatigue, that exhaustion. It's trying to teach you something. And what it's trying to teach you is that, if you can make it through this level, you're going to get to the next level. And you're going to go from being able to run 1 block and then swim 1 mile and then cycle 1 mile. You're going to be able to go from 1 in those areas to 2 in those areas. And if you can endure and accept the fact that the pain, the agony of being able to do 2, if you can accept that, then you will soon be able to do 3 and 4 and so forth and so on. You see it, you sense it, you are aware of it. It is as clear as day to you. Your discernment is hyperactive. It's of ultra premium potency. You can discern a lot more rapid than immediately. It's your God-given discernment. This is not your intellect. This is not your self problem solving capabilities. It's got nothing to do with wisdom. It's got something to do with alignment. And when you're truly walking in that alignment, you can sense the negative energy, the disingenuousness. You can sense somebody is fake when they're way down the hallway, when they're all the way on the other side of the building, and they may be headed your way with a big smile and a lot of compliments or whatever the case may be. You don't have to run from that. You don't have to be rude. You don't have to ignore that. You can stand right there and see it for what it is. And when you do, all that force, all that power from the winds, the storms, the rains, the earth, shaking, all that power it's coming in order for you to learn how to embrace it and harness it. More strength, more power, more love, more compassion, more mercy, more boldness, more faith, more tolerance, more mental stamina, more emotional discipline, more psychological endurance, and so forth and so on. But only when you get to the point, in accordance with his design timing, that you're no longer going to run from the hate. You're no longer going to deny it or try to fluff over the fact that that person, those people, don't like you. They're being fake. They're shooting their little so-called narcissistic fiery darts at you. When you, by the grace of this thing that we would call primary source, get to the point to where, you know what, it's hatred. I see the truth of it all. I may not like it. I may not enjoy it. Because let's face it, none of us are glutton for pain. We all want to be liked. We all want to be loved. We all want to be accepted. And yet he, in his infinite wisdom, has chosen a different path for you and me. A path that says the people that love us, the people that are worthy of us, the people that are true, the people that are genuine, will show up in our lives when they're supposed to. We begin to understand that he has a different purpose for us. And so our goals, our desires to fit in and, help all these people that are unworthy and save the world and all this, the world has to save itself. You have to stay true to the purpose that he has placed before you. We began to become okay with the fact that I don't need to be friends with everybody. In fact, I don't want to be friends with everybody. I'd rather be friends with the 2 or 3 or handful of people that are genuine, that are true, that are about love and wisdom and growth and evolution and expansion and adventure and knowledge and kindness and courage. And those are the people that I want in my circle. And we're living in a day and time where most people aren't about that. Or, if you will let them weasel their way into your circle, they would appear to be about that, but you know in your spirit that they're really not. And you become okay with that when you learn to embrace the hate. The hate works for you. It starts to show you, as I mentioned, it starts to show you how strong you are. It starts to show you, their mask drops. See, when you're running from the truth about that person is disingenuous, they're hating on you, when you're running from that and you're trying to make amends with that and explain that away or ignore that or whatever, you're missing the opportunity to grow. You're missing the opportunity to become more wise. You're missing the opportunity for the universe to reveal to you your true strength, your true power. Power of discernment. All of these things it's like these things are downloaded to you much more abundantly if and when you learn to embrace the hate. Now reach out to this ministry if there's anything that I can help you guys with. If I could provide inspiration, motivation, insight, study material, prayer, some of the philosophical views and perspectives. This ministry provides philosophical consultative services, clean-hearted spiritual teachings, anything that I can provide you guys with whose hearts are in the right place to help you get to the point to where the hate doesn't disturb you anymore. You begin to understand that it's par for the course. And when you begin to understand that the fleas come along with the dog, then you begin to embrace the fact that it all works for you. It's not working against you, it's working for you. It's working for you. Showing you how to become stronger, showing you how to see the truth, how to discern, how to maintain your composure, how to trust in the process. how to believe that, when I clear certain hurdles, I get rewarded by the universe. When you clear certain hurdles, you get rewarded by the universe. Embracing the hatred does all of those things, plus many, many more. If you like some more thoughts and views and perspectives about what those other things are, definitely reach out, guys. But I just wanted to put this subject matter out there because I know a lot of people, if we aren't careful, and particularly during those of you who may be on the initiatory stages of your awakening, it's easy to fall into doubt, to fall into uncertainty, fear, despair, because of everything that's going on and all the hatred. So it's easy for a person to think there's something wrong with them. Like, what do I need to do to fit in? You don't need to do anything. You weren't here to fit in. You're here to fit out. The good book says that he has made you a royal priesthood, a peculiar people set aside. You're not meant to fit in. So reach out to this ministry if I could be of assistance to you guys. Know that embracing the hate, that's when you don't do that, you're kind of working against yourself. And I don't mean kind of, in a loose way. I mean that very specifically. When you don't embrace the hate, when you run from it, when you ignore it, you get, fall out of balance and start thinking you got to do battle against the hatred or you got to prove yourself. No, you have to embrace it. Let the haters hate. Their hatred is fueling your awakening. Again, if you'd like some more specific details, reach out to the ministry, but that's what I got for you guys today. Now, I'll talk about this being a holistic mind, body, and spirit ministry, which it is. This ministry has specific services that are designed to nourish and strengthen you in the mental you, the physical you, and in the spiritual you. These services consist of counseling services, including youth and young adult mentoring and counseling, as well as philosophical counseling. There's also services that are designed to help strengthen and nourish your spirit man or woman. These services are clean-hearted spiritual teachings and practices. And of course, there's services that are designed to help strengthen and nourish the mental self. These services are ISSA certified fitness training. If you'd like some information about the physical fitness training, anything, diet, nutrition, workout routines, etc., please visit the website at mountfitnessmbs.com. That'll give you some idea of my experience and my expertise thus far in this field of physical fitness. For all the other services that I mentioned, please send me an email. The email link is down in the description box. I'm looking forward to discussing with you the specificities of these services, what they consist of, how they're implemented, how they benefit you specifically, your family, your friends, your loved ones, and society at large. The more you go out there and embrace this hate, the more you encourage others, the more you inspire others that they too can embrace the hate. You don't have to run from it. You don't have to, fit in and go along with a bunch of fake stuff just for them to leave you alone. The more you lead by example, the more you change this, what we refer to as reality. So keep that in mind, guys. Listen, I also talk about integrated living, taking all the lessons, all the rains, the storms, the sunshine, the blue skies, the earthquakes, taking everything that you come across and kind of putting it in your toolbox of life, your toolbox of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, so that if and when the time comes, whether it's something you agrees with, disagree with, you're aware of it. You have the wherewithal to know what tool is needed to get the job done. Maybe it's warning somebody, hey, listen, that's not what you want to do. Do this. This is what I recommend you do instead. This is how you handle it when you get that breakthrough and you get to the top, whatever the case may be. So integrated living and holistic mind, body, and spirit, health and wellness. That's what this ministry is all about. If you like some a good example of integrated living, please watch a video that's titled My Testimony and Disclosure, and then follow that up by watching a video that's titled My Deliverance. Get a good example of what it means to live an integrated life. But that's just one example. You guys have your own stories, you have your own opportunities, and you have your own divine obligation to live an integrated life. But this is what I got for you guys. I want to thank you again for tuning in. If you got value out of today's message, please know that that's a clear indication to you that others also can get value out of today's message. So if you got value out of it, then please hit that share button. If you don't do anything else, I'm going to provide you with some other things that you can do. But if you don't do anything else, hit the share button. If you know in your heart of hearts this message nourished you, that share button is right there. Some other things that you can do to pour back into this ministry is to subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. Be sure to hit the bell icon for the YouTube algorithm and be sure to hit the thumbs up for the YouTube algorithm, hit the bell icon for notifications, and all that kinds of good stuff. You can also make a monetary donation. Go to the Cash App link that's down in the description box. Leave a comment. Investigate the services. Again, integrated living. You can investigate the services. Reach out, send me an email, investigate the services. And then you can integrate that. You may come across somebody that needs that. You may need to or desire to use it down the road, whatever. Any good seed that you pour back into this ministry, I supernaturally release an abundant harvest back to you for the seed that you've planted. A love seed, a word of encouragement, liking, sharing, subscribing to the video, a monetary donation, leaving a comment, whatever it is. Receive your harvest by faith. The universe has promised you that when you plant good seed in good ground, you receive an abundant harvest, shaken down, pressed together, and running over. Receive it by faith, guys. As I simultaneously receive by faith your continued love, support, and generosity. I look forward to seeing you guys in the next one. But it's important that you go out there and know that when you embrace that hate, it works for you. That hate is trying to let you know how strong you are, how beautiful you are, how rare you are, that you're not meant to fit in. You know, that people like you, that people love you, that people are inspired by you. Whether they are showing that in a negative way, or there's people out there that's showing it or seeking to show it in a positive way. But you're so rare, you're so ancient, you're so powerful and so beautiful, so majestic and magical. And that continues to grow and evolve and expand the more and more you embrace the hate. Hatred is teaching you how to recognize those frequencies so that when you come across somebody that's true, that's real, that's genuine, you know not to miscategorize them with the haters, because this person may have had their nose turned up or treated you rude or whatever just because they didn't know how to respond to your energy. They were intimidated. They just wanted some attention, but they really are good people. They just didn't know how to go about it based on the fact that you're so rare and so unique. But if you haven't learned to embrace the hate, then it would be easy for you to miscategorize a person that's genuine, that has love in their heart, just seeking a way to express it and bring it out and get some information, some insight, or perhaps even some connection, dialogue with you. So go out there and embrace the hate and let it lead you to the light, to the love, to the deliverance, to the peace, the power, the prosperity, and everything that the universe has for you. Now, this is what I got for you guys. Again, I look forward to seeing you in the next message. Yes, I am Brother Mongoose, and yes, I will holla back. Peace.